Level 1. The Analyst. You are 24 years old, and your entire job is to tell people smarter and more experienced than you why their life's work is not worth funding. You will be wrong about some of them. You will never know which ones until it is too late to matter. The firm is a top-tier venture fund on Sand Hill Road. $800 million under management across 2 funds, 12 partners. You are one of 3 analysts. Your business card exists. Your opinion does not yet. Your job has 3 components. The first is sourcing, finding companies before anyone else does, which means attending every university demo day, every accelerator pitch event, every founder meetup in a WeWork that smells like cold brew and ambition. You shake hands with approximately 40 founders a week. You remember 12 of them. 3 of them are worth remembering for reasons that will only become clear later. The second component is screening. Every week, approximately 200 pitch decks arrive in the firm's inbox. You read all of them. Most of them you can dismiss in 4 minutes. The revenue projections assume a market share that has never been achieved by anyone in the history of the industry. The team has never built anything before. The problem they are solving is real, but the solution is a feature, not a company. You develop a vocabulary for the dismissals that is efficient and occasionally cruel in its precision. You use it because the alternative is spending 8 hours on something that deserves 4 minutes. The third component is the one nobody mentioned in the interview. You make coffee. You book conference rooms. You update the CRM with meeting notes that the partners dictate to you in the elevator on the way out of pitches. You are a $95,000 a year administrative assistant with a Stanford degree and a title that sounds like it means something. You learn things in spite of this. You sit in on every partner meeting you are permitted to attend, which is not all of them, and you watch how the partners think. Not what they decide, why they decided. The pattern recognition that operates below the level of explicit reasoning. The partner who always asks about the second hire, not the first. The partner who wants to understand what the founder does at 6 a.m. before anyone else is awake. The partner who has passed on every company that had more than 2 co-founders and who will never say this is a rule, but whose portfolio tells you it is. You are building a mental model of how the best investors in the world think. This model will be worth more than any deal you source in the next 3 years. You don't know this yet. You are mostly thinking about the coffee. Level 2. The Associate. You are 26. You have been promoted. The title is Associate, which means you now have opinions that are heard in the room, weighted at approximately 15% of a partner's opinion, and occasionally acted on. You lead your first deal process. A seed-stage company building infrastructure software for climate tech. 2 founders, both with PhDs in materials science, one of whom has never pitched before, and who presents the business case with the affect of someone defending a dissertation to a hostile committee. The other founder is the one you are betting on. She answers your follow-up questions with a specificity that tells you she has thought about the failure modes of her own business more carefully than most founders think about their success modes. You write the investment memo, 12 pages. Market sizing, competitive landscape, team assessment, financial projections, risk factors. You present it to the partnership in a Tuesday morning meeting that lasts 40 minutes. 2 partners support it. 2 pass. 1 abstains. The managing partner, a man named David who has been doing this for 22 years and who speaks in the meetings only when he has decided something, says 3 sentences. The third sentence is yes. The company raises $2.1 million at a $9 million post-money valuation. The fund owns 18.9% on a fully diluted basis. You call the founder after the wire confirms. She says thank you in a way that contains more than the words. You say you believe in what they're building. You mean it. You will mean it for the next 4 years until the company runs out of runway, the technology proves harder to scale than the PhDs anticipated, and the founders return $600,000 of the $2.1 million in a wind down. The fund loses $1.5 million. You do not mention this deal in future investment memos. You also do not regret the decision. This is the thing about venture that takes years to understand. A bad outcome does not always mean a bad decision. You had the information available at the time. The decision was right. The outcome was wrong. Those are different things. You will need to believe this completely to survive the next 20 years. Level 3, the principal. You are 29. You have been passed over for partner once. Nobody says this directly. The firm hires a partner from the outside, a former founder with 2 exits and a network that took 15 years to build. And the hierarchy rearranges itself, and your path forward becomes, if not blocked, more complex than it was. You consider leaving. You have 3 conversations with other funds. One of them makes you an offer. You decline it. Not because the offer is bad, because you have spent 5 years building a specific kind of knowledge inside this specific firm, and leaving now means starting a new 5-year clock somewhere else. The compounding of judgment takes time. You are not ready to reset it. You lead your first Series A, a SaaS company selling workflow automation to mid-market financial services firms. ARR of $2.8 million, growing 180% year over year. Net revenue retention of 118%. The founders are 2 former consultants who built the first version over a weekend and found their first 10 customers by emailing their former clients personally. You negotiate the term sheet. $9 million at a $42 million post-money valuation. The founders push back on the liquidation preference. You give them the 1 times non-participating they want, because your read of the situation is that this is the kind of company where the liquidation preference will not matter. The outcome will either be very good or the company will fail. And in neither scenario does the structure of the preference change your return meaningfully. You give them the thing that costs you little and matters to them enormously. The lead founder will remember this in year 3 when a competing term sheet arrives and she calls you before signing. The company is in your portfolio for 6 years before it is acquired for $340 million. The fund's return on the position? 6.8 times on invested capital. Your carry on this deal alone, at the fund's 20% performance fee and your individual carry allocation of 8%, is $3.1 million. You have just learned something that changes everything about how you see the job. 1 deal, 6 years. Complete and unwavering conviction through 2 years of flat growth, a pivot, a co-founder departure, and a market environment that made every comparable company look broken. 1 deal done right returns more than 20 deals done adequately. Level 4, the partner. You are 32. The promotion comes without ceremony. David calls you into his office on a Monday morning and says, "You're a partner." The meeting lasts 7 minutes. You go back to your desk and sit down and try to locate the feeling. It arrives eventually. It is quieter than you expected. You now have carry in the fund, a percentage of the profits on every successful investment, paid out over 10 years through a structure called a waterfall that your lawyer explains in a document you read twice. Your management fee income is $340,000 annually. Your carry, if the current fund performs to its historical average, will be $4.2 million over the life of the fund. If the fund has a breakout, one company that returns 50 times or more, your carry could be multiples of that. You are now the person on the other side of the table, not the analyst watching partners decide, the partner deciding. This feels, on the first day, like exactly what you prepared for. On the 40th day, it feels like something else. The weight of capital deployed on your conviction alone, the weight of founders who quit their jobs, left their salaries, told their families they believed in something, and you are the person who decided whether that belief was fundable. In your first year as partner, you pass on a company. The founder is 27, former engineer at a company you know well. The product is an AI-powered tool for legal document review. The demo is clean. The founder is technically excellent. The market is large, but the incumbents are well capitalized. Your concern? The go-to-market is undefined. The founder has built something remarkable and has not yet figured out how to sell it. You send the pass email on a Thursday. Thoughtful, specific, the kind of pass email you spent years wishing you had received from partners who gave you nothing. You tell him what you would need to see to reconsider. He does not come back to you. He raises from a different firm 6 months later. 2 years after that, the company is the market leader in AI legal tech, with $40 million in ARR and a valuation of $380 million. You read the TechCrunch article on a Tuesday morning. You sit with it for a while. Then you close the tab and open the next pitch deck. This will happen again. It has already happened twice before this, at smaller scales that were easier to absorb. It will happen again after this at scales that will be harder. Passing on the company that becomes the category winner is not a failure of analysis. It is a structural feature of the job. The information available at the time of the decision was incomplete. Level 5. The Golden Cage. You are 36. You are managing partner at a new firm you co-founded with David and a partner named Sarah, who left a competing fund 18 months ago. Fund 1. $280 million. LP base, university endowments, a sovereign wealth fund, 11 family offices, 1 major pension fund. The fundraise took 14 months and required 67 investor meetings, of which 41 said no, 19 said not yet, and 7 wrote checks. Your carry on this fund, if it performs at a 3 times net multiple, which is considered strong but not exceptional by the standards of the top quartile, is $11.2 million over 10 years. If you have a single breakout company that returns 30 times or more, the carry approaches $30 million. These numbers live in spreadsheets. They are theoretical until the distributions arrive, which is 8 to 12 years from when the investments are made. Here is the thing nobody tells you about being a partner at a venture fund. You spend your career finding people who are building things, people who have a specific kind of hunger, a specific kind of restlessness, a specific inability to do the thing that is fine instead of the thing that is right. You recognize it immediately because you had it once. You fund it. You support it. You sit on their boards and challenge their assumptions and celebrate their milestones. And somewhere around year 12, you realize that the thing you recognized in them is quieter in you now. Not gone, quieter. The work is still meaningful. The outcomes still matter. But the feeling of building something yourself, of being in the room at midnight when the thing is not yet real and you are the person making it real, that feeling is not available to you anymore. You are the person who funds that feeling in other people. You think about this on a Wednesday evening after a board meeting that ran long. You sit in the car in the parking structure for a few minutes before starting the engine. It is not regret exactly. You made real choices that led to a real life that has real value. But there is a specific kind of aliveness that belongs to the founder and not to the funder. You understand this now in a way you couldn't have understood it at 24. You start the car. You have a portfolio company call at 7 a.m. tomorrow. A founder you believe in completely, building something that doesn't exist yet, trying to make it real. You will ask her the question about the second hire. You will ask what she does at 6 a.m. before anyone else is awake. She will answer in a way that tells you she is exactly what you are looking for. You will write the check. Level 6. The Legacy. You are 44. Fund 3 has just closed at $780 million. Your portfolio across all 3 funds contains 61 companies. 11 have failed completely. 19 have returned capital, but not meaningfully more. 14 are still active and unresolved. 12 have been acquired at multiples ranging from 2 times to 18 times. 5 have gone public. One of the 5 has a current market cap of $14 billion. The fund's ownership at IPO, after dilution across multiple rounds, was 4.2%. The position at the time of the IPO lockup expiration was worth $588 million against a cost basis of $8.4 million invested across 2 rounds over 7 years. That is a 70 times return on invested capital on a single position. That one company, a founder you met at a university demo day when she had a prototype and 12 potential customers, and a slide that said the market was $2 billion, and which you thought at the time might be conservative, returned more than the entirety of every other investment you have ever made, combined. You think about the 40 founders you shook hands with that week, the 11 you remembered, the 3 worth remembering. She was one of the 3. You said yes in the partner meeting with 4 words: I believe the founder. Venture capital is not the business of being right about markets. It is the business of being right about people. One person, one time, at the exact moment before anyone else understood what she was going to build. That is the whole job. Everything else, the memos, the term sheets, the board meetings, the portfolio reviews, the LP letters, is infrastructure around that one judgment. You have made that judgment correctly once in 20 years, in a way that matters at this scale. Once was enough. Somewhere right now, A 24-year-old is attending a university demo day in a room that smells like cold brew and ambition. She is shaking hands with 40 founders. She is writing names in a notebook. She is building a mental model of how the best investors think, without knowing yet that this is what she is doing. She will remember 12 of the 40 founders. 3 of them will be worth remembering. She has no idea which 3. Neither does anyone else in the room. That is the whole game. That is the only game there is.